Even in this evening, I thought I would speak a bit about knowing your identity in Christ. When we face certain difficulties and certain trials, and also some good things, but generally, when things are not particularly going well, then understanding who you are in Christ is a very important issue. Because if I understand who I am, then that enables me to interact in my environment very differently. Because knowing that every single difficulty and every single problem that comes my way is something that I can overcome. Because inside of that, Romans 8:28 tells me that all things, everything, all things work to good for those that love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. So even the things that look destructive, even the things that are exceptionally painful, whilst they not all have good outcomes for you in certain instances, they can still bless you. They can still teach you things, and you can grow in those particular instances. James also says, consider it pure joy when you face trials. Why? Because it creates perseverance. It enables your faith to grow to a place where you literally you want nothing. In other words, you lack nothing. You have the confidence inside that, yes, this may look bad. It could be horrendous. In fact, it is probably horrendous. But in it all, there is something that God has put inside of that. He didn't create it. He didn't cause it. But he did allow it. And sometimes those things are the consequence of our own bad choices. But if we take the time to actually sit back and look for that jewel, then God has put something in there that is purely for you. And you can, if you know your identity in Christ, if you know that I really am a son or a daughter of Christ, and he is in me and I am in him, and he is in the Father, therefore so am I. So I have full access, complete access to the entire, complete resources of heaven. And all I need to do is call on my Father and say, Lord, what have you got in here for me now that you couldn't show me at any other time? And for example, one time when I was in a particularly difficult spot and I had to go and see some government officials and all sorts of things like that. And there were some regulations I didn't know about at all, because a lot of it is shrouded in mystery. But I was in a pickle, and I prayed to God. I said, Lord, I don't know what's going to happen here. I don't know how we're going to do this, but I do know who I am, and I know who you are. And your grace says that I have a degree of actual conscious favor, that in this thing there'll be something that I can pull out of that. And what happened was I arrived, and lo and behold, God had placed somebody in the position that knew exactly what it was that I was trying to do, how I was trying to achieve what I was trying to do in terms of training people, setting people up, trying to get them out of poverty and things like that. And she understood exactly what I was trying to do. And she just wrote it all off. She said, you're exempt. And off I went on my way. And I learned from that particular prospect or aspect of life that, yes, anything is possible with Christ. If only I understood and I live my identity, I can expect that. So go out and understand who you are, then live who you are. And life could actually be quite different